What is up, you beautiful sack of haunted meat? It is I, your coach, Melanie Black, and today we are going to talk all about fat, body fat, fat positivity, and fat diets like the keto diet, and why it might not be working the way you think it does, and an important differentiation you must make to be successful. Let's first talk about how amazing, awesome fat is. This is the real fat positivity here, folks, because here's the thing. Your fat is your body's internal energy storage system. Okay. It doesn't let you waste those valuable energy calories. Remember, calorie is a unit of energy. So you take that into your body and it has to either be used or your body will put it into storage. So the next time you're getting down on yourself, you're like, man, I've got all this fat or I gain a lot of weight. It's just like, oh, I am wealthy with energy. How about that? I am wealthy with energy ready and willing and able to spend. Now, I will admit that it is a difficult process switching from storing energy to using energy, but it's a small price to pay for all of the wonderful things our body does for us. Now, keep in mind, when you're eating in excess in your calories, the body has a very few options, like as far as what you do with that energy once it gets into the system. So if I eat like a bunch of chocolate cake, for example, and it's way more calories than I'm going to use in one day. Now, once that cake gets broken down, I might have sugars in my bloodstream. I will have sugars in my bloodstream, but my body, if it keeps it there, if I keep the sugar in the bloodstream, the blood actually becomes thick and syrupy like syrup, which is why diabetics will lose eyesight and limbs, because it's really difficult to pump that thick, syrupy blood into your extremities. So what does your body do? It pulls that sugar from the bloodstream through insulin and chemistry and magic and wonderfulness, and it pulls it out of there, and it puts it either into the muscles. There's a little bit of storage capacity for glucose, glycogen, sugar, essentially, in the muscles. It can put it into the liver, again, limited storage capacity. It could also just fun, amazing, transformative trick where it takes those sugars, turns them into a triglyceride, and stores them in the fat. Each 1 pound of fat on your body has approximately 3,500 calories of energy storage. Man, we can't even come up with a proper battery to store solar yet. And here you are, this amazing battery full of energy. So don't be down on yourself if you have excess body fat. Look at that fat as untapped storage of energy that you can get into and start doing cool stuff with. And this gets into a little bit of a shift in consciousness that might help you out with your fitness journey. If you've been stuck between the fat positivity, body positivity community that says, no, you're perfect as you are, don't change, but you also do kind of want to change, whether that's for feeling better or health reasons or just aesthetics. Hey, your vanity is valid, right? Whatever the reason is, you don't need to be negative about fat to also lose fat. It would be weird, right? If I was like, oh, my battery in my phone is fully charged. I don't want to take it off the charger. I want to keep that charge because that's what defines my phone. It's like, no, the whole point is to take it off the charger so you can be mobile with it and do things and actually do things, right? So yeah, I was reading a stat the other day that the average American gained 39 pounds of excess body fat this year through the pandemic and being locked down and stress eating and all these things. So you may have some extra energy ready to spend. So start thinking of it in those terms. Think of yourself as being wealthy with energy, and thank you, body, for allowing me to store that energy rather than losing eyesight or limbs. Okay. So now that we're feeling hopefully a little more positive about our body fat, now we can move on to dietary fat and a keto misunderstanding that has come up recently among some of my students at the Nerd Gym recently. So for those of you who don't know, the Nerd Gym online gym, we do Zoom classes, we do fitness classes, as well as nutrition classes online. You can join us at www.thenerdgym.com. Now, when it comes to a low carb diets are incredibly popular, but really what it comes down to is a different way to manage your calories. Some people find that they have, more satiety. They're not as hungry all the time if they go for a higher fat, lower carbohydrate diet. This is not true for everybody. Some people do better with a higher carb diet. But the big magical promise that we often get from a real low carb diet, for example, a keto diet that is very popular right now, the promise is that your body will become better at burning fat. It will become more efficient at burning fat for fuel. And this is true, but here's the big misunderstanding that everybody gets wrong about keto. You become more efficient at burning fat because you are eating more fat. It's not like you're eating that stick of butter and your body decides to start using the fat that you stored on your belly. It's using the stick of butter you ate. So yes, your body becomes more efficient at burning fat for fuel, which the ketone bodies allow the brain to continue to work, because the brain will prefer to run on carbs when carbs are available. But the reason that they say, oh yeah, the body becomes more efficient at burning fat, more efficient at burning dietary fat, not necessarily more efficient at burning body fat. It's, if you are not in a caloric deficit on a low carb diet, you will not lose weight. And I've seen it multiple times. People will actually gain weight on a very low carb, high fat diet, because remember, fat, 9 calories per gram. It is an intense fuel compared to protein and carbohydrates, 4 calories per gram. Fat has 9 calories per gram. So as a food source, it is a high energy fuel. So you don't need to get as much of it to meet your caloric intake needs. So remember, if you're looking at a real low carb diet as a means to the end of losing body fat, unless you really just hate vegetables and you don't need as much fiber as the average. That's the one thing that really gets me about keto, is like, you literally can't get the recommended amount of fiber on a ketosis diet. Ketosis diets were developed initially to treat some special conditions having to do with seizures and that kind of stuff, which, like, if you're getting a medically prescribed keto diet is what I'm saying, it's different than like the keto diet trend that's out there. And a lot of the product that gets sold and marketed to people who are on a keto diet for weight loss is really misleading too. I saw like keto cereal in a shopping aisle. I'm like, so I look at the back. One serving of that cereal will put you way over in your carbohydrates, no matter what. It's got the 0 net carbs, but then it's got a bunch of carbohydrates in it. And in any case, what I'm saying is, be positive about your body fat. It is energy storage. It is awesome. Okay. You will not lose excess body fat if you do not reduce calories, regardless of whether you're doing high fat, high protein, low fat, whatever it is. You must reduce caloric intake for your body to want to tap into that storage system. Okay. Your body is not real into spending your life's savings, right? This is, if your body's a bank, this is the cash in the bank. That belly fat is your cash in the bank. So you have to convince your body that, hey, we're not under any stress. We're feeling good. We're moving around. We need to spend this energy now. We're going to invest it in good activities, healthy activities, and we're not under any stress. That's when your body's going to give it up the fastest. It's going to be like, okay, you're doing the dang thing. We see you. We see you lifting weights, going for walks. We're going to give you some of that energy, right? So definitely think of body fat is not good or bad or anything else. It's an energy storage system. Having too much storage can bog you down. This is why planes, they take off with an amount of fuel in them that they cannot land with. If they took off and landed right away, it would be devastatingly difficult because the plane is actually too heavy to land properly. So they put in the fuel knowing that they're going to spend that fuel in the air so they can come down for a smooth landing. So having too much fuel, too much energy storage, not necessarily great for being mobile, for doing stuff, so you got this. You got this is what I'm saying. You don't have to vilify your own body. You don't have to identify as the thing that is in your body. I mean, when people talk about like, oh, this person is, they say, oh, they're very muscular or they have a lot of muscles. They don't say they are muscle, right? But yet we will define ourselves this way with fat. You are fat. I am fat. They are fat, right? Not they have fat. I mean, saying they have fat would make so much more sense. We don't say, oh, your bone or your skin, right? We do say you're skinny. It would make a little bit more sense if we said, oh, you're fatty, right? But then that kind of sounds like food. It's like calling somebody well-marbled, which is weird, but I suppose no more weird than me calling you haunted meat. In any case, this has turned into a ramble. I will see you next time on the Nerd Gym YouTube channel. I'm Coach Melanie Black. You can coach with me or get coaching from me rather at www.thenerdgym.com. Sign up for a Patreon at any membership level, and I guarantee you will have fun. All right, see you next time. Bye.